day, Doctor. I'm Wen Xin. The topic of my presentation is focused on Apple strategic entry into Asia, market entry and development. First, I will briefly introduce Apple Incorporations. So Apple was founded on 1976 by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wentz in Cupertino, California. It is a leading American technology company that began by producing personal computers and later transformed the tech industry. Its core product and service include iMac, iPod, iPhone, iPads, and also MacBook. Apple is also the creator of operating systems like iOS, macOS, and service like Apple Music, iCloud, Apple TV+, App Store, and Apple is known for its innovations, premium quality, user-friendly design. Next, we move on to target market. Apple chose Asia because it offers a perfect balance of scale, growth, innovations, and opportunities. Firstly, the large and growing population in Asia countries like India, China, Indonesia, and Vietnam offer a massive customer base with millions of potential Apple users. Secondly, many Asian countries are experiencing economic growth, rising middle class and disposable income. And thirdly, the high demand for smartphones and technology among younger, tech-savvy population in Asia countries such as China, India, and also Southeast Asia. Move on to market entry strategy. So the first one is licensing and authorized resellers. Apple initially entered many Asian markets through authorized resellers and distributors instead of direct operations. For example, the reseller in Malaysia such as Switch Machine, Thunder by TMT, while the Indonesia such as iBox and Digimap. So the second is wholly owned subsidiary. Over time, Apple shifted to direct investment by operating its own branded retail store in major Asian cities like China, Japan, and India. So the manufacturing entry for India and Vietnam, for example, in manufacturing, Apple invests through partners like Foxconn, Pegatron, and Wistron to manufacture in China, India, and Vietnam. Thirdly is strategic partnership with local companies and telecom providers. So like Apple partners with local firms, especially in supply chain and data compliance. For example, Apple partnered with China Mobile for iPhone distribution and joint venture for local iCloud data storage due to the regulations. Next is market development approach. So to compete effectively in Asia, Apple customized its operations and offerings to adapt to Asian markets. Firstly is language and content localizations. So iOS supports regional language and fonts, for example like Hindi, Chinese, also Thai. Apple also localized content on Apple Music and Apple TV Plus to reflect the Bollywood and Mandarin speakers in India and China. Secondly is localized payment and transactions. So Apple integrates Alipay and WeChat Pay transactions in China, and also Apple supports UPI and local cards in India. Thirdly is local partnership. Apple partners with China Mobile, China Telecom, and China Unicom to increase distributions. And for India, Apple works with Tata Group and local reseller for retail expansion. Next, we move on to evaluations of strategy. So first, we will talk about the Apple strengths. So first, of course, is their premium brand perception globally. So Apple is widely recognized as a luxury brand, which attracts aspirational customers across Asian markets. So this strong brand image allows Apple to compete in the high-end smartphone and tech market where the margin is highest. So the second one is strong control through own stores and ecosystems. Apple Store in Beijing, Shanghai, Delhi. The Apple's ecosystem used in their product and service encourage the customer retention and repeat purchase. Third is their adaptability to local regulations and consumer needs. So Apple has shown strategic flexibility in adapting to the unique legal, cultural, and economic environments of Asian markets. For example, Apple tailors its App Store marketing and content offering based on local preference in Asia country. While Apple also faced some challenges, first, of course, is Apple faced intense competitions from local brands, for example, like Huawei, Xiaomi, Oppo, Samsung, which offer a high-quality smartphone at significantly lower prices. Second is high pricing in price-sensitive markets. For example, in countries like India, Indonesia, and the Philippines, Apple faced competitions from affordable brands like Samsung, Xiaomi, Realme, and Oppo. Thirdly is regulatory pressure. In China, Apple faced tight government regulations like their censorship, data storage law, and rising geopolitical tension with the US. So next, I will focus on recommendations. So firstly, I recommend that Apple should introduce affordable product lines or financing solutions such as more mid-range or budget-friendly models to compete in price-sensitive markets like India, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Secondly is expand and localize Apple service. For example, I think Apple can invest more in local language content for Apple TV Plus, music, and also App Store, including the regional film licensing and app development. For iCloud regionalizations, I think Apple should comply with data residency laws like in China and Vietnam by building or partnering on the local data center. Thirdly is boost regional manufacturing and supply chain. So Apple should expand manufacturing operation further in other countries like India, Vietnam, and Mexico to support both cost efficiency and government incentive. So to conclude this presentation, I think Apple's strategic expansions into Asia demonstrate its ability to balance global brand consistencies with local market adaptations. Its strategy shows the importance of long-term investments, partnership, and innovations. So with Asia growing economics and digital adoptions, Apple has strong potentials to expand further if it continues evolving with local market demands. And here is my references, and that's all for my presentation. Thank you.